multi-exclusive dimensional being Kyle with another exclusive. Today's video is going to be about, yeah, y'all know, Scorpio and Libra compatibilities. So, when we say this in reference, when I say this in reference, this is basically dealing with the relationship perspective as far as a bond. Feel me? It's really nothing when we talking about the friendship. Now we can get deep into this too. You know what I'm saying? Now with the mother, as far as like we can get the mother, the father, the sister, the grandmother, the brother, like we gonna pretty much get into the relationship aspect as far as this too. Cause this goes deep. Because this is cardinal air. Initiating and creating harmonious, balanced partnerships with people, places, and things, finding justice, and basically being more open. Now, the sun falls here because, Libras always want to basically compromise and relate to the way they establish relationships and basically have balance between them and their partner. But of course, Libras always putting themselves first. Libras always basically putting themselves out there. And of course, they're very charming. Of course, all Libras is beautiful too. You know what I'm saying? So they go hard for that too. For me, they like even when we talking about a rising, a motherfucking Libra rises, because look, you got a sun sign, you got a moon sign, and you also got a rising. So when we talking about this perspective, a lot of people will basically get into judgmental or arguments or basically confrontations, because at the end of the day, you don't have just one sign. Feel me? This is the whole body. This is your whole shit. Feel me? You got Aries, you got Taurus, you got Gemini, forearms, feel me? You got the chest. Then you got basically Cancer, and you got basically the stomach, basically dealing with Cancer. Then you got motherfucking Leo, which is basically the heart, the spine, the wrist, feel me? Then you got motherfucking Virgo with all the veins and the nervous system in your body. Then you got Libra, which is basically balance, where you can bend over, fuck her, bend over, fuck the person. You know what I'm saying? Balance, for me. Balance, basically secure yourself. Then you got the dick in the pussy, which is Scorpio. Then you got motherfucking Sagittarius, which is basically your thighs, your hips. Then you got motherfucking all the way to your legs. Then you got motherfucking Capricorn, which is your knees and your bones. Then you got motherfucking Aquarius, which is your ankles. Then you got Pisces, which is your feet. So basically, you have everything. Just because you was born in a certain perspective, a certain circumstance, situation, as far as your birthday, you like, for instance, this video is about a Libra. Now, Libra will go hard about a Scorpio, but this Libra can have a Scorpio moon. So basically, you could be your worst enemy. You basically talking about yourself. So basically, we all got to come to understanding that just because you hear one thing about a sign don't mean it's the whole purpose of that sign. That sign got its own elements. Everybody different. I mean, not every Scorpio is the same. Not every Libra is the same. You got degrees. You got certain perspectives in certain areas and certain locations and broad perspectives that they was born in. Some came out of a different element of water. Some came out of, but Scorpio is already basically dealing with that fixed water, fixated in his own ways of feeling, emotion. Stubbornness can also play a part too. So of course, and they're very deep. For me, they go deep with their emotions. They go deep with that too. And they don't like, for me, even though Scorpio is basically dealing with change, willpower, aggression, passion, desire, for me, they're very deep with these things too. You know what I'm saying? And they also basically represent change. But Scorpio, they like to hold things in, feel me? They're very possessive too. And the opposite is Taurus. Now listen, when we talk about Scorpio and shit, basically this is very deep. I mean, you can never understand or basically understand a Scorpio, especially if you're not in these shoes, especially if you don't know what they're going through, especially like, every day, like that's dealing with the moon. Feel me? Scorpio is like basically the moon that you see in the sky. So basically when Scorpio falls in the moon, aka it don't really basically get along with that perspective as far as the Cancer element. I mean, they share the same elements as far as like the waters, but when we talk about Scorpio, they deep. But Cancer is basically the most powerful sign though. No disrespect to Cancer or Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody got their own power. Everybody got their own way of doing things. Don't get it twisted though. But now when we talking about Scorpio, they very deep, very emotional. Feel me? They hold things in, and they see right through you. They like you can't really hide or hold anything in from a Scorpio. They're gonna know basically up front. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if it's a moon Scorpio, for me, you already know they go very deep in the emotions, and basically they're already carrying that. So basically everything they picking up, it's like even if you do get into an argument or a commitment with them, you basically just giving them power. Basically, they very deep. Feel me? And when you talk about Libra and Scorpio, now these are opposites. These two signs are opposites. You know what I'm saying? So there could be it could be a lot of attention going on, tension going on. You know what I'm saying? Because Libra strive for balance, peace, and harmony. Scorpio strive for deepness, connection, intimacy, and possessiveness. They're very deep. Now, when we talk about Scorpio men, you feel me? They pretty much like in order like a Scorpio man, they pretty much deep in their desires. For me, they lust for emotional connection, and of course, and they not really surface level, so they very deep. So they take things into that perspective as far as like this emotional bond. For me, and they want you to basically they want you to open yourself up to them. So when we talk about the Scorpio men, they very powerful and very controlling too. For me, and they want to basically be in control with everything as far as the connection. For me, you gotta like basically make sure you're flirting with them, basically keeping them into a circumstance situation where it can be two connections going hand in hand, and they won't have to worry about anything perspective. They'll take care of you too, feel me? But yeah. So now when we talking about the Scorpio woman, now like they just want you to basically be open to them, be honest to them, feel me? They don't like dealing with lies, for me, and they want to basically see where you can like pretty much put them in a circumstance situation where it could be harmonious love, for me. Not where you got your surface level and things are not, the ball is not rolling, for me. They want to see commitment, they want to see passion, strive, and shit. And of course, when we're dealing with Libra men is basically looking for a woman that's basically got her shit together. You know what I'm saying? And of course, when he see that, he can go all out for that woman and shit. For me, he'll fucking pour out his heart. You fucking give his last heart to the woman and shit, buy her everything, take care of her and shit like that too. Now with a Libra woman, for me, the attractiveness with this, basically they very communicative and shit. You feel me? They want to like constantly be communicating, interacting in every way, shape, or form. Feel me? You gotta keep their mind stimulated. Feel me? You gotta keep their mind going. Feel me? And they need attention. They want attention. Feel me? And they always want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? They also have balance as far as like pretty much like letting you do your shit, but they always want to be tied around you. Feel me? Like they just can't accept the fact of being alone. They always want to be with somebody and be connected with somebody on a deeper level too. Now, when we talk about Scorpio and Libra woman, now things that they value. Feel me? Now, Scorpio, they pretty much do want their space from time to time, and of course, Libra may not want that too, because Libra always want to be connected to. So it could be kind of tensions going on when we're dealing with this perspective. Also, now the sex is great. Feel me? It's powerful. It's very connective. Feel me? That's one way of basically making things more like balanced as far as like all the conflicts that they're going to be going through. Because opposites attract. Feel me? Yeah, you're going to be going through a whole lot of conflict, a whole lot of issues, a whole lot of battles and shit. But if y'all good, y'all both good and bad, y'all can basically always make up for a whole lot of shit. But it's gonna be a whole lot of arguments, a whole lot of conflict, feel me? And y'all gonna pretty much be holding a whole lot in, feel me? Especially with a Scorpio. Scorpio, gotta say they hold too much in, feel me? To the point they can lash out too. Of course, Scorpio looking for a woman that can basically, be very consistent and very practical and basically, But Libra always gonna seem like it's want to basically be trying to fit in with this element and shit. So it goes deep. But of course, Scorpio is just basically 1, 2, 3 with the rivers and with the flow. So basically, when dealing with that aspect and shit, they always gonna be like, wait, something not right, something always need fixing and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? But of course, when you got Libra exalting Capricorn, feel me, that brings the practicality, that brings the commitment right there and shit. But Scorpio may not be satisfied at times and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it could be always an uphill battle, an ongoing process and shit. Libras, they always want to make sure the partner is good and straight for me, but also Scorpio want to see a powerful, strong woman. I ain't just trying to see a woman that's just basically all for me and everything, but you gotta find somewhere where you can outshine. Scorpios, they very independent and they're always expecting you to always be on your shit, especially on your A game when you're dealing with Scorpio that's very deep too. And now, you know, there's a whole lot of differences as far as like, you can basically be a Libra. You can have a different Venus. Now, Venus is how you love and appreciate somebody. Now, if your Venus is basically in Scorpio, you can be very powerful and controlling and manipulative. And of course, when you talk about manipulation, it just goes very deep, especially when you deal with Scorpios. Say they're very deep, and for me, like, it's already right there for me. Now, if you're a Sun sign Scorpio, this can't really, you can't really play that game. Especially, you can't really play that game. But if you're a Moon sign Scorpio, it can go very deep for me. But also, if you're a Venus and Capricorn, then you pretty much really just take life serious as far as your relationship responsibilities and shit like that. But if you're a Venus in Libra, or if you're a Venus in Leo, then that's feel me. The fire always gonna be passionate, always gonna find ways to be very romantic too. So that's always very important to basically look at each other's sign, look at the element, know which kind of relationships you're going to be pretty much getting yourself into. Don't just basically jump the gun and be like, oh shit, oh, this is a Scorpio, oh, this is a Libra, oh, this person look good. Oh, for me, you're just getting lost into your desires. And that's why it's very important to go and get into astrology, especially know your rising sign. This way you know your rising sign, which is the 7th house, how you relate to people, relationships, and partnerships. Feel me? Oh yeah, and another thing too, one thing with Scorpio may not like with a Libra is basically, Libra's too friendly and shit. Libra's too, out there. I'm like, wait, Scorpio very jealous, for me. They be like, why the fuck you always talking to this person? But deep down, they may basically hold that in, and they may lash it out. So, yeah, that's another thing to look at. But, yeah, when we talk about with your 7th house, also, and also another thing, with Libra, something that Libra may not like about Scorpio is basically holding things in and basically not coming up front. And of course, Libra they hate drama. They don't like drama, you know what I'm saying? They fucking hate it. They hate it. You always run away from that shit. For me, y'all gotta basically be real with yourself and basically face these obstacles. For me, because this is a predicament circumstance that you put yourself into, and it's basically a natural element when we're dealing with Libra. So you always gotta want to relate and basically compromise with somebody. So yeah, it's another thing too. But yeah, when we talking about motherfucking 7th house, 7th house is basically dictate where you need to look at when you're dealing with relationships. This is for all signs, not just one sign. So yeah, that's one thing that's very important to basically take matters into. This way you won't basically be jumping into relationships. You'll know your element. You'll know what you're looking for. You know how to basically be more in tune with what you're looking for. For me, not just basically being thrown out there, or how your parents or how your father or whoever the fuck in your life, or basically you ain't had these people in your life to basically nurture you and care for you. So things might be, especially if you got a moon in Capricorn and shit, feel me? Your relationships with your parents y'all may be divorced, or some fucked up shit may be going on. So, it goes very deep. Basically know what kind of shit you're getting yourself into before you jump the gun, before you get in a relationship. And that's basically Libra and motherfucking Scorpio compatibility. But we can go deep though. We're just basically dealing with the sun sign. We're gonna go to moon sign, for me, because your moon's emotions, how you care and feel, private matters and that nature.